Welcome to the Tuneagers TuneIn concert series. Today we have special guest Dana Falconberry, who spent a large part of her musical career out of Austin, Texas, but is now based in, is it Michigan?
Yes, Northern
Michigan,
Michigan.
Northern Michigan. Dana is a visual artist and a musician, so double trouble. You can see all of her music and cool videos and artwork on her website, danafalconberry.com. And I think today we're going to hear some newer songs. So I'm super excited to hear these. With no further ado, here is Dana Falconberry.
Hello. Okay. I know it's not easy. I know the days are dark. If we can make it through the winter, well, that'll be a start. The throat holds tight, the grip of the night didn't help a thing. Oh, we used to be birds. We used to sing. I see you out my window. I see you moving through it. My money's on you, kid, if anyone can do it. If the river ran straight, the grip of the bank doesn't hold a thing. I've seen you make a rope out of a length of string. You are a wide-eyed hawk. You are the kill. You are an open jar sitting on a windowsill. You're a stone fruit, ripe. You're thick in the thigh. Just want something with your name on it after you die. You're an heirloom. You were born again. You are a blue bonnet growing on the side of I-10. You are a flame. You are the tinder set. You are a train of thought lost in the internet. You are a lantern. You are a landline. If anyone is anyone's, you are mine. You hear the conversation underneath the ground. You can tell it's coming if you listen for the sound. If the waves didn't break, nothing would ever make its way to the shores. If anyone is anyone's, I'm yours. You are a wide-eyed hawk. You are the kill. You are an open jar sitting on a windowsill. You're a stone fruit, ripe. You're thick in the thigh. Just want something with your name on it after you die. You're an heirloom. You were born again. You are a blue bonnet growing on the side of I-10. You are a flame. You are the tinder set. You are a train of thought lost in the internet. You are a lantern. You are a landline. If anyone is anyone's, you are mine. You are old growth. You are handheld. You're a tornado wreaking havoc through the Bible Belt. You are a water tower. You are a shorebird. Can't quite put your finger on it. You just want to be heard. You are an archive. You've just begun. You are a drop of dew lit up by the morning sun. You are afraid sometimes. You're a heron in flight. You're pale snow falling in pale moonlight. You are a lantern. You are a landline. If anyone is anyone's, you are mine. You are a lantern. You are a landline. If anyone is anyone's, you are mine.
Yay!
Thank
That's
you. Oh man, the electricity in this house is special. So sorry.
that's okay. I love how you built, um, it sounds like a stream of like consciousness of like a meditation on a certain person,
Yeah.
over a really simple chord progression. I think that's a really good example for our teenagers, how you can just take three chords and totally give it hell. How did you write that? I mean, what was your process in writing that song?
Um, I wrote most of the song in the car, which I do sometimes. I mean, I have to come up with the melody and the with the chord progression, so I have to like um and the verses usually I have to write like on the guitar, but or I have to start it on the guitar anyway. And then it really kind of I think meditation is a great word for it. I think it really was that, I was just kind of ruminating and images would come to me on this subject and um, then then it just became kind of like wordplay, like how do I, oh, that's kind of an image I want to put in there, how do I make that fit lyrically, how do I make it fit, how many syllables does it need to be and rhyme it and all of that, and then that's kind of the part that I would work out like in the car. So
Maliki, any other question from you?
Not really. Not yet, at least.
Okay, cool. Do you usually start, Dana, do you usually start with a melody in your head and then search for words or pick up the guitar, or what's your order like for most of the time you write?
usually it starts with the guitar and um, I'll just kind of be playing around on the guitar until I find something that kind of sticks and a melody that kind of sticks. And then sometimes I'll record that on my phone. Sometimes I don't record that because I feel like if I don't remember it in the morning, then it's not good enough. And so, but I don't know, sometimes I do record it and then just kind of like, then I have that as a template and I then write kind of based on that melody that I've come up with. And usually at that point, I don't really have any idea what the song is about. But uh, I write usually like a verse or two, and then kind of the subject matter of the song reveals itself to me, and then I think I'll finish the song. I'm thinking that I'm finishing the song based on what I think it's about, but then usually that changes. Like what I think it's about isn't really what it's about, and I don't really know what it's about until I'm done with it, I guess. Um, so it's this kind of crazy alchemy of like going back and forth with the meaning, and oftentimes I'll have to rewrite the first verse that I wrote, which isn't necessarily the first verse, right? But just the first verse that I wrote. Oftentimes I'll have to rewrite that completely because I've discovered through writing the song that it's actually about something different. Um, so I don't know. In that way, like when people say that they feel like they're just a channel, I I feel that way sometimes too, that it's um, I'm trying to harness it or direct it somehow, but I don't even know what I'm writing about until I'm done. So
But you make it to the end, at least, instead of like just
most of the
letting it
time.
fall to the wayside or feeling too confused about not knowing what it's about. Um,
Yeah, I don't often stop in. It's like once, I mean, that happens where I will just let a song kind of go and not continue it, but usually I'm obsessed with it. It's like this demon that I have to get out of my body. And so not writing it after I've started writing it doesn't seem like, I mean, I've never had a baby, but it seems like kind of like the birthing process. Like, you got to get it out. It can't stay in there. So,
good. I like that. I like that obsession too, or at least it's haunting. Do you have another one for us?
sure. These ones, they're all pretty downer songs, but you don't really have a choice if you want
That's
another one.
okay. We like downers.
Okay, good. Um, let's see. Sorry, these are new, so it takes me a minute to like get into it. Okay. Spilled over the kitchen table, laying on the bedroom floor. Piled on the golden armchair, you're hung over the bathroom door. Take all the time you need. Take all the time you need, babe. Snow falling and your makeup running. Halfway down Woodward Ave, they can go ahead and take the money. They can take everything we have. Take all the time you need. Take all the time you need, low light coming off your body. The moon over an inland lake. Like we didn't know the time could tell us. Like we didn't know our hearts could break. Take all the time you need. Take all the time you need, babe. Take all the time you need. Take all the time you need.
Wow. It's like
Uh,
liquid
featuring the dogs.
lyrics. Yeah, featuring the dogs. I liked how the lyrics, especially in the first verse, they just lead you, they keep leading you on to a place you don't really know where you're gonna go yet.
Hmm. Thanks. Yeah, I meant that to be, I don't know if this is perceivable at all. But I meant to be like, well, so this song is kind of about dealing with depression and specific things about that, but it's the feeling of, so it starts spilled over the kitchen table, laying on the bedroom floor, piled on the golden armchair, you're hung over the bathroom door. And it's just that feeling of being like a pile of dirty laundry, you know, that you like can't, like I'm just like, bleh. Like I'm just I'm crumpled on the floor. I'm just like a dirty towel, you know, and like that's how it kind of felt. And so I was just trying to explain that in like different rooms in the house. Like here I am in this room. Whoa, here I am in this room. Whoa. And yeah, so I'm not, yeah. Anyway.
Oh, I think it's done really nicely. And do you see pictures when you write? Like when you're working on lyrics? Or is it more of a feeling? Or do you like
Sometimes.
kind of see like a picture in your mind, like, oh, there I am in the living room and like golden chair pops out, like sprawled over.
Yeah, I don't even have a golden chair. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I definitely have, yes, especially in this song, like saw different scenes. The next verse is about a trip that my husband and I took to Detroit, which is an amazing city. I love it. And we went in this particularly difficult time in my life, and it was, we had a lovely time. But I just remember being, now when I look back on it, I think about standing in the middle of Woodward Avenue and like what was going on in my life at that time and how insane everything was, and how hard everything was. And so I have like a picture of me like on the sidewalk there, you know, in the snow. So yeah, I definitely was like, in this song in particular, they're just kind of like these little Polaroids, you know, of what was happening.
I do actually have a question.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing guitar?
Oof. God, that's a, I mean, 25 years or something crazy like that. I mean, I'm old, so a long time. Like since I was, I guess more importantly, like when did I start? Probably like, probably, I mean, pretty late actually. Like when I was 16 or so was when I started playing guitar, you know. I think a lot of people start earlier than that, but
That's really funny because I've started learning guitar from like I was originally a bassist, and I got into the rest of music, and now I want to try my hand at guitar, and I'm 16, so
perfect. Yeah. I mean, 16 is a perfect time to start. I felt like I was a late bloomer when I started then, but now it's, yeah, it's a good time to start.
do you play any under other instruments or just guitar?
I'm gonna say just guitar.
All right.
That's, that's best to leave it at that.
I think
I was, you know, I took piano lessons when I was a kid, and then in college I studied music theory a little bit, so I definitely had to take piano lessons then too, but definitely can't play piano right now. So
Got you beat though for the late bloomer because I didn't start playing guitar till I was 18.
Okay, you win. Yep.
I just
Yeah.
remember how slow it was to try to learn how to sing and play at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm never gonna be able to do it, sing and play at the same time. And I was just like playing the song like 20 times slower than it should have been.
Yeah. And the calluses. I mean, the blisters. Oh, the worst.
Great, let's hear another one.
Okay. Um, this is another newer one. And this one's um, yeah, even newer. So we'll see how this goes. Like cinders, pine and oak, like wood ash, like smoke, like every word we spoke, it goes. Like echo, like feedback, like looking for the bleed of the click track, like leaving and then coming back. Like it's not true, like you're joking, like swallowing it down and choking, like wishing, like hoping. The lake and the moon in the morning, like glaciers, like forming, like spilling over, like pouring out. Owl eyes on me frozen, like they've been looking for me, like I'm chosen, like they know me, like I know them well. Like the very ground underneath me wants to have me, like to keep me, wants to bury me deeply itself. Like blue stars up above me wanna take me, like they love me, like they can't get enough of me. Like fire across the prairie, like taking everything you can carry, like breathing again, barely. On a solid sea. You used to be the one I ran to, my love. You used to be there for me. Like standing still, like holding, like everything everybody told me, unfurling, unfolding. Birds of the Pedernales, wild horses of Boquillos, like how they run away when they see us. On a solid sea. You used to be the one I ran to, my love. You used to be there for me. You used to be there for me.
Well, so beautiful, Dana.
Thank you. Wow, it's getting dark out there. It happens fast here in the north. Thank you.
So I know from some of your previous recordings that you have often built some pretty intricate layers in terms of harmonies, or
Mm.
I don't know what I would just call like sparkly, sort of shimmering, magical sounds.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes maybe they sound loop based, but maybe I'm mistaken. How do you envision these songs like being recorded? They live so beautifully just with vocals and guitar. So I'm curious, like on a production side, or do you hand that to someone else totally?
No, never. Um, uh, I well, it's interesting. Um, I love demoing. I love demoing. Like I just use GarageBand. I mean, it's the simplest thing, and the simplicity of it really works for me. I can like nerd out all night long and add harmonies and add. I have this little $10 microphone I got at like Staples, like 15 years ago or something that I used for all my vocals and everything. It's held together with like duct tape and rubber bands and stuff. And I love the limitations with that, but then also having access to whatever GarageBand gives me or whatever weird sounds I can make within that realm. So I have demoed out these songs ish. Actually finding the time to do it is now my biggest hurdle. But I actually just had a meeting this morning with some local people in Traverse City, and we're gonna do a film thing with some band members of the first song that I played. And we spent all morning talking about the arrangement, so I think it'll be bass, I mean drums, like very light drums, and then cello for bass, and an electric guitar and like a synth pad. Oh, and a paddle steel, which I'm super excited about. But like this song, the song I just played, when I demoed it, I really sometimes I like recording with a delay, these like paddy type things where I just like I follow, so the chord progression is like whatever, I can't remember. So I would like kind of follow that, but doing this. And then do that like 20 times with a bunch of delay on it and a bunch of reverb and a bunch of crazy stuff, and then use that whole thing as like a padding, that's just like this crazy noise, and then change like the octave of it, and just mess with it so it doesn't sound like guitar anymore, but use it as weird ambient sounds. And then also some harmonies and some like spooky ethereal padding stuff. But that's pretty much it for that song. I don't know. I'm really interested too in dynamics. So I feel like having like big swells for the parts that got a little bit louder are important to me too. So
Cool. So you actually walk into the recording. You said video, but I mean, it's going to be audio, but you're going to do some video element to basically a live studio recording.
well, yeah, it'll be all filmed and recorded live. So it'll be an audio thing, but and yeah.
But a visual too, yeah. Um, so you walk in not with a blank page saying, I don't know how to do this song, but I mean, you actually have a considerable amount of ideas at the table when you start.
Yeah, and like the musicians that I'm going to be playing with for this thing, I've never played with them before, and so I certainly want to take, and this goes for musicians I have played with before too. I certainly want to take their knowledge and their experience into consideration, and if they want to, like the first song it has drums on it, and I recorded I mean, like with the typewriter thing, um, and not like real drums. Um, but I have a beat in my head that I want, you know, and so I will share that with the drummer. But I also want to know if he hates it or if he, I don't want to just like tell him what to do. He's the drummer, I'm not. So, um, yeah, it'll be a conversation.
Well, I just think that's really interesting because Teenagers is all about like expressing yourself through music. So
Yeah.
I really try to emphasize that it's more important that you get the idea out than it being technically correct. Like
Yeah. I mean,
Maliki, you're pretty talented on FL Studio and stuff sounds super clean and meticulous, and he spends hours and hours working on his arrangements. Um, but everybody sort of has a different angle. I mean, like that's how he can kind of come through it technically. Whereas I'm probably more a little along in your boat where I like sit with BandLab or GarageBand and like if I want a trumpet, I'm like
yeah.
here's the horn sound, or I just only hear a bass drum, so I'm just like boom, 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 and I'm like, how do I make that crunchy with the little distortion? And it's like, whether it's used or not, it's really cool because just expressing that, I'm sure to the drummer that you work with, like he'll hear the idea and be like, oh, I see what you're doing. And, you know, he'll take it to like another level. He or she will take it to another level. Like, be like, do you want it like busier and a little jazzier? Or do you want it really stripped back and a little more hip hop? Or, um, it'll be really cool to see how that sounds.
Yeah. Danny Reich, um,
Mm.
producer from what used to be from Austin, and now he lives in LA. And, I mean, he's worked with so many, I mean, he makes like exquisite recordings. And I think, I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth if this isn't true, but I think his favorite thing that I've ever done is like a a little set of bedroom recordings that I did that were just kind of like these demos that I did on GarageBand, but I released it on Bandcamp, called The Lowering Night. And they're just like super rough. You can hear dogs barking in the background. I mean, it's all just like for free, I didn't pay a dime to make that happen. And this like very professional producer is like, well, that's some of the best stuff we've ever done, So I think like, yeah, it's totally doesn't have to be technically anything, you know.
So that'll bring me to my last question before we close. Unless Maliki, did you have another one? No?
Not really.
Um, so what would you say to teenagers writing songs right now and perhaps doing the same thing, like demoing in their bedroom, um, who perhaps have mixed feelings about what they're doing? Like, oh my gosh, might feel like this is amazing, and then go listen the next day and feel the complete opposite. Like, what would you say to teen songwriters making demos in their bedroom?
I guess I would say that that happens to me too. And like, the ups and downs of it, I think that's just part of being an artist. And I think that you learn a lot from that, and um, but I think that, I guess what I would say to myself at that age, if I could, is just to seek truth, and whatever that means for you. like really, really, really trying to tune out the world and what seems appropriate or cool or acceptable, and just really what is the truth of the song. And that will lead you to way cooler places than trying to fit in or do something that you think you should be doing.
Golden words of wisdom from Dana Falconberry at Tuneagers. Seek the truth in your songwriting and don't worry about fitting in. I like that as a closing thought. Thank you so much for sharing your brand new songs with us
Yeah.
and letting us into your process. And when they come out in whatever shape or form, please tag me so I can throw up a little announcement in the club.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and and thank you so much for your time today.
thank you for having me.